As an herbalist, I always get asked one major question. Is your kitchen filthy? Is your kitchen always dirty? The answer to that is actually twofold. Yes and no. I am constantly in a state of flux with my kitchen. I am constantly either cooking dinner or I'm making a new recipe to go with all of my herbs, or I'm making herbal remedies. Let's see, last week I made basic comfrey and calendula, wintergreen liniment, and then tried to do a failed video about wintergreen liniment RSO. Um, I make a whole bunch of stuff every week, and I thought you guys would like to see some of the things that I utilize in my kitchen as an herbalist. A well-stocked kitchen means you can make a lot of things. There's potato flakes, and this is a very small cabinet. It's only about, at the bottom it's maybe 8 inches deep, and at the top it's maybe 12 inches deep. Potato flakes, and then there's more potato flakes, and elbow mac, oatmeal, peanut butter. In there is actually milk chocolate I made, hot chocolate that I made, and I put it in the old container. All the things, aluminum foil and everything. And then we have my baking area, which has brown sugar and powdered sugar, and these are dry milk, chocolate chips, ketchup. Back there is flour, and way back there is rice. And those are 3-gallon containers. We have all my seasonings. Goodness. We have our yeast back there. Oops. This is dill weed, actually. Cayenne, garlic, real garlic heads. Got my oil back there. More pasta, more cocoa powder, more peanut butter, and salsa, and all sorts of things. Now this is my Gemini Apothecary chili seasoning. It is delish. And to add to that, to tell you that I actually use my own seasonings, that's my Gemini Apothecary taco seasoning. They're both amazing. Thank you very much. And then, of course, we have all of our canned food back there and some saltines and stuff. But as you can see, if you have a lot of little things, you can make a lot of big different things. So that's my tiny little pantry. Ingredients in jars everywhere in my shop. There's ingredients in jars. And it doesn't hurt to keep them all labeled really well. Like, that's baking soda. Here's kosher salt. My dry milk. And the date that you opened them is really important. Now, these are yellow split peas. And obviously you can tell I've been doing some work that got some dust on it. Actually, I think that was more like baking soda. Anyway, this doesn't have a label except for on the side, and you can see when I put them in there. Really comes in handy. Herbalism comes with a lot of accoutrements, and these are just a portion of my jars. And then I have my workspace where I keep a lot of jars and a lot of hanging stuff. Okay. Lots of jars. That's only about a quarter of the jars I have. Any space is usable, even a chair. Yes, lots of tinctures. Comfrey, salt, pecans, almonds. Things that grow. Garlic cloves. Make the garlic scapes. And an old onion grows greens for onions. I showed you the plants on the table before, but this is a 4-foot table. Comes very much in handy. I can fold it up and put it away. But this 4-foot table helps me to do just lots of stuff. 2 pots on the back of the stove to keep hot water hot while I'm washing dishes or making stuff. I use my 5-gallon buckets all the time. I bring water in here from my bulk water. I bring it in here to boil on the stove to wash all my dishes. Who would have thought the person who doesn't like to do dishes would actually take up the job of an herbalist who does every kind of dish imaginable. And it has to be hot water because oils and butters do not want to stick around in hot water. And so I'm constantly doing dishes. That's what I have to do. I have to do lots of dishes. And when I do it, I usually do about 15 to 20 gallons at a time. One of the most important places in an apothecary is a dish pan, because honestly, if you're putting something in the sink, you don't want a lot of dishes in the sink. So we've got a dish pan, but let me tell you, this is my chicken and goat bowl. Everything that I cut off of food, I put in there, and then a lot of cooking utensils and cleaning utensils. Always want to keep at least one side of your sink clear. The other side can be taken up. One side of your sink needs to be clear for anything you want to drain. And that's where our dish pan comes in. Those are the morning dishes. Once again, any spot that's useful, we use to put a whole bunch of kitchen supplies in.